Ciao, my name is Ron Falconi, and welcome to another exciting edition of Meet Your Neighbor. I had this idea about 5 years ago in the fall of 2006 where I wanted to invite local people here in the northeastern Ohio area so that all of you could, well, meet your neighbor. We have a very special guest today. He is actually my former neighbor. Many of you know that I grew up in the city of Seven Hills, and actually we used to ride the bus together way back when, and we ran into each other maybe a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, and I just wanted all of you to meet your neighbor. His name is Scott Swiecicki. He is the President and Senior Wealth Manager for Retirement Solutions. Scott, welcome to Brunswick.
Thanks, Ron.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Scott, can you tell us something about yourself that not too many people know about?
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, I started off a couple years ago, and I was Santa for a local apartment complex. One of my friends got in a bind, and their Santa canceled, and they needed somebody to fill in.
Santa Scott.
Santa Scott, exactly.
Oh gosh, that's wonderful. Hey, now Retirement Solutions. Can you tell us what does that? What does your company do? What's that all about?
We're a full-service firm. We're one of the fastest-growing firms in the area, and what we do is we help individuals and small businesses save for retirement, college for their children, and helping people get more income when they are retired.
Oh, okay. And then what kind of services do you provide?
That's a great question. What we do is we help people with every type of investment that's out there, whether it's individual company stock, IRAs, mutual funds, real estate. We pretty much do everything. We do IRAs, 401ks. If it has an abbreviation, we do it.
Is there like a certain income bracket of people that your company serves?
Most people that do what we do usually have a cutoff, whether it's 100,000 or 500,000 target.
Okay.
We don't, and the reason for that is...
So you don't then?
No, we don't.
Okay.
The reason for that is when we first got into the business, I went and wanted to buy an alternative Christmas gift for my family, and I bought a share of stock. Oh. If the gentleman who helped me would have said no, then there's a good chance I wouldn't be doing this today. So,
now, when someone comes to your business, what kinds of things do you have to assess when putting together a financial plan for them?
Really, we assess everything, and if we can help with their cash flow, if they're a small business, if we can help save for retirement or for college. All of these things factor in to your financial picture. And the thing that's most important are the individual's goals. If they're trying to cut down on credit card debt and they're paying 19% return, it makes no sense for me to come to the table and say, hey, we have a great investment that gets you 8%. They're still going to be off. So we need to kind of look at it as a comprehensive approach. Okay,
so part of that is credit card debt, and then say if someone wanted to save for retirement, or even if you have kids, who want to go to college. Yeah. What kind of factors do you take into consideration for some of those things?
We look at insurance. We look at what they've already done when they come to the table, and we also look at what they get through their employer. Sometimes with people leaving their employers now with getting laid off, they lose some of those benefits. So if you're with an employer and you get laid off, downsized, left-sized, or whatever, a lot of times your health insurance and life insurance goes away. So those are some of the things that we can kind of bring to the table and help them with.
And if they have to transfer their IRAs from one company to another, is that something that you could help them out with?
Yeah, we are experts in that.
Okay. And then I know you alluded to this before. I know you help individuals, but you can also help businesses too. Isn't that true?
That's true. We've worked with a lot of businesses in the area as far as setting up retirement plans. Very important for that company to help recruit new employees, retain the employees that they have, and reward their people too. Oh. So it's really a great program.
Okay. Now, Scott, I know you brought some photos for us to look at here and see if we can roll some of those here. What is this photo here?
This is actually the Independence office
Okay.
at Rockside and 77.
Okay.
That was our first office in 2002.
So you have many offices everywhere then?
Right. There's an office in Beechwood,
Okay.
Westlake, 2 in Columbus. The home office is in Lakewood, Ohio, and then there's 1 in Tampa, Florida.
Okay. Then we also had a picture there of Newt. I saw a picture of Newt Gingrich there. What was that all about?
We actually met Newt a couple of years ago at
okay.
Akron U.
Oh.
He was speaking, and a couple colleagues and I went and wanted to hear what he had to say. He was talking about health insurance at the time. So
That's a good picture right there of the two of you. Hey, what kind of general advice would you give to, let's say, investors right now?
That's a great question. And since we can't specialize and talk about somebody individually, in general, the best advice I could give is to read as much as you can about investments to educate yourself. Also, work with somebody that has experience in up and down markets. While you're at work and you're working 9 to 5 or later nowadays, maybe you're a nurse or a teacher, there's a lot of things that could be happening during that day.
Right.
You need somebody like a watchdog kind of looking out for you. So those are the 2 pieces of advice I would give. And also, if you want to Google Rule of 72.
Rule of 72?
Yes, it comes out of academia, and what it basically says is if you put the number 72 in the numerator of a fraction and the denominator, the percent return you're receiving, then it'll tell you how many years it'll take your money to double. So that's something that you can sit down with a piece of paper and write down, okay, it's 2011, and how old am I, and how much money have we saved, and you can basically chart out a rough guideline of where you need to work on.
Now, I know that in the photos we had over there, you had the picture of the Independence office.
Yes.
Now, does Retirement Solutions have offices around the area? I mean, where else do they have? I know you mentioned that.
Yeah,
briefly.
we do. The home office is in Lakewood.
Home office is in Lakewood.
In
okay.
Lakewood. We have an office in Beechwood off of Chagrin behind P.F. Chang's.
Okay.
There's also an office at Westlake right near the shopping center there.
Crocker Park.
Crocker Park, yes. And in Columbus, there are 2, one at Easton Shopping Center and one at Polaris.
Oh, geez.
We're starting to see
They're all over the place, it seems like.
a lot of shopping areas and offices kind of, there's some economies of scale there that work together.
Okay.
So.
That's good. Scott, how did you, can you describe your educational background? How did you get involved in doing all of this?
Well, I grew up in Seven Hills and went to school in Parma at St. Columkill School.
That's where we rode the bus together.
That's right, back to the bus. So St. Columkill, Padua Franciscan High School in Parma as well.
Okay.
Then I went to the Ohio State University in Columbus,
Okay.
where I majored in economics. And a key part of my education I always include is an internship that I did with Payne Weber in
okay.
Columbus. Payne Weber is now called UBS. But
Yes.
I got an incredible taste of the industry, and I knew after doing the internship that this was the place to be. This is where I needed to be, where I felt I could help people the most.
Okay. We're not going over financial documents and trying to get new clients. What are some of the things that you like to do for fun?
Well, for fun, I like to do a lot of things. I like to keep active.
Okay.
I like to work out. I like to go to local sports teams, even though they're not doing so well. But I like to do that, whatever it is active. I like to go to wineries and try a lot of new things. I got into wine a couple years ago, and I thought, well, it was wine and beer, and it all tastes the same. Well, that couldn't be farther from the truth. So I like to do that, and I like to constantly learn new things and just new adventures and that sort of thing.
Well, that's good. Scott, for every guest on the show, I'd like to play a game of fill in the blank, okay?
Okay.
When I was a child, I blank.
Well, you probably know the answer to this, right? When I was a child, I was very active. I played sports in grade school and in high school. And
What sports did you play?
I played football and football and baseball.
Okay.
And it was the best thing ever. It taught sportsmanship and competition, and it was excellent. And
Did you play for Columkill or did you play for Seven Hills? the city, or?
Yeah, I played for both. yeah, I was actually even on a traveling team for a little while.
Oh, wow.
Where we played Broadview Heights and a lot of the different teams in the areas.
That's interesting.
Yeah, fantastic. I highly recommend it to everybody.
Hey, Scott, what about this? Well, the one place I want to travel to is blank.
Well, that's a tough one because I am very interested in very many places. I lean towards Caribbean-ish.
Oh.
If there's a palm tree, there's a chance it's on my to-do list. I love those kinds of areas, but I also like a little bit of history mixed in. So if there's anything about Mayan ruins and that sort of thing,
yes,
you'll see me in those types of areas.
Oh, that's great.
Those are my favorites.
What about at the other end of the spectrum? When I retire, I blank.
Wow. Well, I would probably say that when I retire, I'm going to retire from my career. I'm not going to retire from life, and I'm probably going to do what I've done and stay active and probably volunteer, spend some time with family and that sort of thing. Again, do some traveling and that sort of thing. But as far as would I do any one thing when I retired, maybe not set the alarm clock.
That's nice. Scott, can you give any neighborly advice to people who are watching right now in the city of Brunswick or Brunswick Hills Township, or maybe people watching on the internet right now?
Sure. One of the things that I'm a firm believer is a community.
Okay.
And wherever I've lived, I've always said hello to people walking by. If people are walking their dogs, I made it a point to know and say, hey, is it okay to pet your dog, and get to know those people, to the point where even driving down my street today, I see my neighbors and we always give a wave and that sort of thing. It kind of just reaffirms the decisions that you've made to live in that community, and it really makes it home. So I would say hi to your neighbors, get to know them, and even if you don't have time to do that, just give a leisurely wave.
That's good. Scott Swiecicki, President and Senior Wealth Manager of Retirement Solutions, and my former bus mate. Thanks for coming down to the studios.
My pleasure, Ron. My pleasure.
My name is Ron Falconi. I am the host of Meet Your Neighbor. I wanted to thank my friend Scott Swiecicki for coming here to Brunswick and chatting with us for a little bit. My name is Ron Falconi. Nothing more profound to be said, so I am signing off. Arrivederci.